Hi guys, Paul here. In solidarity for Peter, welcome back to another PA Man Flu review. Fighting. Struggling through yet again with the man flu. In solidarity to Peter. I don't know how I'm going to make it through this. 1872, the ancient Alt, an Alt beer, old beer, from Germany, obviously the style. But this is a PABrewNews. This is from Straubs of what am I just saying? St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. My favorite city in Pennsylvania because it just doesn't feel like a city when you go there. You really can't tell that it's a city when you go to Straubs. Now this, I don't think they're twist offs. Nope, they're proper. One thing I did notice about Straubs Brewing Company is they have relabeled a lot of their product. They have relabeled. Now, right now, when I told my kids to be quiet, they came out and started playing with plastic and want to make popcorn and all that fun stuff. So maybe they can just go away for a little bit and then come back in just a second, okay? Before I have to start getting crazy. Hello, Dragon One. Now, right here it says Peter Straub. That's all it says there now. It just says Peter Straub, and then it says signature brews. It doesn't really have the Straubs logo on anything anymore at all. It says Straub Brewery here, St. Mary's, PA. It has a weird slashy S, and then it says Peter Straub, but it doesn't nothing really just says Straubs like it used to anymore. So I don't know what's up with there. This comes in at 5.4 alcohol by volume, which is a really nice ABV for an alt beer. And then again, I feel like crap, and I didn't even brush my hair today. Yeah. Put it back. Sick. Man flu. Okay, anyway. I'm going to put that there. Again, I like St. Mary's. It's a small little place. It's got a sheet spray. Let me get all these damn bottles out of the way. I'm sorry about that. Upcoming reviews. Bottles are in the damn way. Sorry about that, guys. I'm very unprofessional because I'm sick with the man flu. So, please. Okay, up to the light. Clear as a bell. Soft carbonation. You can just kind of see how clear that is right there. You can see my ugly face penetrating the deeps of the depth of the glass. See? There you go. Alright, a little bit of an off-white head. A little bit of things sticking from that 5.4%, but not a lot. Looks a little bit on the thin side, just kind of rolling those bubbles around the proteins of glass. Let's get some aroma. I'm still pretty, thank you. Copper coin, a little earthy notes, a little bit of a fall leaf, autumnal leaf kind of a smell. Hints of toffee, caramel. A little lager funk. Let's get a little funk out of the lager, a little lager funk. Yeah, smells pretty dang good. Let's get into it. Cheers. Sizzling, spicy. A little spiciness, a little bit of a burnt sugar, toffee, caramel in there a little bit. It definitely has a little bit of that kind of grainy tone to it. It is kind of more of the macro side of a style brewery, but alt beers do have a very high little note of bitterness, earthiness, copper coin tones, fall leaf tones, that roasty toasty burnt caramels, and this has it in spades for sure. They're probably Straub is the, I don't even know if you can call them like macro mainstream anymore because they're so regional, it seems. But they're my regional macro brewery, I guess you want to call it, because I don't like Yingling or Lion's Head or Stegmaier. Stegmaier doesn't make bad stuff though, but I don't go towards Stegmaier. If I want something that's PA regional, more on the macro side, Straubs is usually the people that I gravitate to, but I only have it like once or twice a year. It's a nice example of the style. It is. It is nice enough. It is really, really earthy. The earthy, peppery, spicy fall leaf going on there. Nice copper coin. The toffee caramel's in there for sure. It's smooth as silk, being that it's actually a nice medium body, really, too. It's smooth as silk. It's nice. It's not too watery at all. It's actually really well done for an alt beer, and an American made PA baby, PA pride made an alt beer. It's actually a really nice alt beer. And of course, you know, solidarity to Peter from the Man Flu, that he would enjoy a German style beer. And I am not sad about drinking this one at all. Actually, it's a really nice example of the style for sure. Wow. Now, they did a couple years ago, they started doing these specialty packs. And the first one they did, it was really kind of funny because, you know, they're just kind of like Yinling. They did the same thing for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and all that stuff. And all of a sudden now they're like, oh, let's make a double bock, an IPL, and all this stuff. And it's kind of funny that seemed to try to diversify. I don't know, but why isn't it another half brew in here? You know, I don't know, Joe. Straubs equals Genesee. Yeah, but no, they don't. Because Straubs is better than Genesee. For one, they're Pennsylvania, so it beats any New York piece of shit. Straubs actually might even be better than other half because for the single fact that they're Pennsylvania. I mean, I'm just using logic here, people. Just simple logic. But, yeah, so fuck you, Joe. The Commonwealth of Mediocrity. Goddamn right. I'm exceeding with adequacy. I'm oozing with it. Adequatic pedicine. Oh, now the kids are fighting good. The axes are going to come back out, Joe. Every time you come here, the kids fight, Joe. Look what you do. No, it's a very good example of the style. I think it's actually a little bit better than some of the examples of the styles, especially for being that it's Straubs again, like, you know, my kind of go-to sort of on the cuff, macro, micro, blah blah blah, regional brew. I think it's actually a really good example of the style for sure. I'm actually going to give this, I was going to give it a 7.5 for a solid example of the style, but I like it a little bit more than that. I'm going to give it an 8. 8 out of 10, I'm actually going to give it for the ancient alt. I like this. I'm a big fan of alt beers. Not a lot of people say that out loud, except for Joe, of course. He wants all the alt beers, especially Bose, which is shit. He wants all the alt beers, especially Bose, which is shit. This is way better than Bose alt beer. Way better. Yeah. No, that's not true. Everyone needs more alt beers. This is proof. The proof is in the alt beer. Everyone needs more alt beers, except for Bose, because they can't make a good fucking beer anyway. They make 2 good beers. Imperial, except for Bose, because they can't make a good fucking beer anyway. They make 2 good beers. Imperial Schwartz, the Dark Helmet, and Bottle Limpet. Well, that's fantastic. Well, anyway, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. Time to get going. No, that's right. Bose can't make a good beer in general anymore, so that's kind of funny. Yeah. I don't know if you anybody else caught that, but the glory of a vinyl player was just happening there. A little Milli Vanilli action, but of course it's metal, so no one can care. No one can tell when things are going. Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's, which is pretty fucking fantastic. So there you go. But anyway, girl, you know it's, which is pretty fucking fantastic. So there you go. But anyway, Peter Straubs Signature Brews, Ancient Ale, Alt Beer, Traditional German Style Ale, and then Straub Brewing Company, St. Mary's, PA, blah, 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 5.4 alcohol by volume. That brings up the question. So I can't remember off the top of my head. Before and then the question. So I can't remember off the top of my head. Before and then the review goes on. Was it a Schwarzbier or an alt beer that's brewed with ale yeast? Is this an alt beer brewed with ale yeast or a Schwarzbier brewed? I think it's an alt beer. Is it an alt beer actually brewed with ale yeast? And that's why they call it a German style ale. I can't remember, but it's lager temperature. I don't know. I don't think. No, think. Might be. Because I've made some alt beers back in the day, and I can't remember what the fuck yeast I used. Remember what the fuck yeast I used. Maybe. I know it's lagered. It still goes through the lagering style, the storing style, but I don't know. Can't really remember off the top of my head if it's an ale yeast that's used to make an alt beer. Interesting. Anyway, provocative. This has been Paul from PABrewNews. 8 out of 10 for the Straubs Brewing Companies, or Peter Straub, whatever you want to call it. The Ancient Alt from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, my little favorite city of Pennsylvania. Go check it out. The whole area, if you drive around in the woods and country, it's fucking fantastic. This has been Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers. Bye-bye. Watch that finger. Man flu.